and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jody, and on my channel I talk about Broadway and books. And in today's video, I will be continuing my Broadway show series where I talk about every Broadway show I've ever seen. So normally in the series on my channel, I go over a few things, such as who was in the cast, who was on the creative team, how I like the show, anything interesting in the playbill. So, without any further ado, let's get on to today's show. So today I'll be talking about the 32nd Broadway show I ever got to see, which was a stage adaptation of the very well-known film, which I still have not to this day seen, but that would be The Producers. So I saw The Producers a total of 2 times on Broadway before the show closed. Today I'll just be talking about my first time seeing the show, which, like I said, was my 32nd Broadway show. So I saw the show for the first time in April 2003 at the St. James Theater, and in case you didn't know, the St. James Theater is now the current home to the Broadway revival of Spamalot. So now I'll get on into what is in the playbill. So here's the page with the headshots of the lead and supporting performers who were in the show when I saw it in April 2003. Alright, now here's the page with the headshots of the chorus, standbys, and understudies. And now this is the point of the video where I usually go over who's in the cast and my performance, and if I recognize any of these performers from having seen the other Broadway shows since I saw them in The Producers. So I'll get to that now. Roger Bart was currently starring in The Producers as Leo Bloom, and in case you didn't know, Roger Bart was a part of the original Broadway cast of The Producers, but when he was in the show the first time around, he was playing a different part, and when he rejoined the show, he rejoined the show playing Leo Bloom. So it was pretty cool to get to see him in that show. And he's done so many Broadway shows at this point. I think he's actually, he's definitely on Broadway right now. He's in the Back to the Future musical. So there's that. John Tracy Egan was in the show. Caddy Hoffman. I couldn't remember offhand if Caddy Hoffman was still in the show, so it was pretty cool to get to see her in the show. I kind of wasn't sure who I had seen, because she was also a part of the original Broadway cast of The Producers as well. And those were the only names I honestly recognized from having seen my other Broadway shows since. But, I haven't seen every Broadway show, and I'm sure many of these performers went on to do many Broadway shows. And like I said, I just haven't seen everything. Now I'll get on to who's on the creative team and point out names I maybe recognize from having seen them work on other Broadway shows since I saw them work on The Producers, or maybe shows I saw them work on before The Producers. So Robin Wagner did the scenic design, and Robin Wagner also did the scenic design for one of my favorite Broadway shows ever, Saturday Night Fever, the musical on Broadway. But yeah, it's pretty cool to kind of be making this series because a lot of the creative team members, per se, I maybe weren't aware of who they were at the time, and I didn't realize. It's kind of cool to get to relearn everyone involved in the productions that I got to see. So yeah, Robin Wagner, I didn't realize had done the scenic design for so many Broadway shows. I believe they also did the Kiss Me Kate revival, as well as others I just can't remember off the top of my head, but that was pretty cool to relearn. Warren Carlyle was associate choreographer for the show, and he's gone on to be a pretty well-known Broadway director and choreographer as well. And then Susan Stroman was also the choreographer and director of The Producers on Broadway. And yeah, they all did an amazing job because it was a really great show. Oh, and also Mel Brooks did the music and lyrics for the show, and then the book was done by Mel Brooks and Thomas Meehan. And obviously, this was a Mel Brooks film, so it's pretty cool that he was involved in the show as well. Now for how I like the show. Yeah, I really like The Producers. When the show first opened on Broadway, it was quite a big hit. It wasn't a show where you could try to order tickets the night before for the next day. It was very much a show that you had to order tickets for months in advance. So I missed out on seeing the show when it first originally opened. I got tickets when it was more obtainable to get tickets for the show. But yeah, after seeing the show, I could see why it was such a big hit on Broadway. It was just a really fun, lively, energetic kind of show, musical theater comedy at its finest, if you will. The choreography was absolutely great and amazing. The songs were just lively and showstoppers, and it was a really great show. It was a really great production. Yeah, so now I'll get on to maybe some musical numbers that I maybe remember from having really liked in the show. Do that now. Opening Night was a great number, The King of Broadway, and I Want to Be a Producer. Those were kind of my favorite songs in the show. And I believe if I had to choose a number, I think I Want to Be a Producer is probably my favorite number in the show. Leo and the Accountants sing it. It's it's kind of like an interesting number because it's like Leo Bloom is like just like kind of miserable in his career and his life, and he's just singing about how he's so unhappy. And when he's singing that part of the song, like the set is very like bland and like depressing. But then when he starts to sing about how he wants to be a producer, and like it's kind of like the set like livens up and becomes, you know, bright, and it's just like, you know, it's a really just great number. It goes from like the tone changes, like he's like depressed in his current situation, and then he's thinking about what life could be like, you know, if he takes a chance, takes a risk. And you know, it's just a really great number in the show. And so now I'll just get on into what is in the playbill. So I've come across this once in the series so far, where I've seen a show towards the end of the month, and I saw Hairspray towards the end of the month, and I couldn't, when I first talked about it, a few videos prior in this series. Like I said, I saw that show at the end of July of that month, and I couldn't find my playbill from July of 2003, which is when I saw the show for the first time. And I saw the show a few times, that's why I was still able to show a playbill. But I saw this show also towards the end of the month. I saw it April 30th, 2003, and I honestly think that perhaps sometimes they changed the playbill a day or two early, because this was a show I only saw twice, and it wasn't a show I was like collecting playbills for every time the cast changed or anything like that. So I honestly think they changed the playbills early, because what I'm trying to get at is I couldn't find my playbill for April 2003, but I have one for May 2003. And since it was the day before, it's very possible they changed the playbills early. That's my theory, at least. But yeah, I saw the show in April 2003. It says May, but you know, whatever. There's an article in here about when Bernadette Peters was in Gypsy in 2003, which I will be talking about the show 2 shows from now in this series. So stay tuned for that. And then also another thing I was going to point out was at the time there was a revival of Long Day's Journey into Night. I remember when the show was on Broadway, it was like, it got great reviews. It had an amazing cast. I remember it was possibly quite a hard ticket to get for this show as well, because it was just like a really great production that everyone like wanted to see. I never got to see it. I wasn't really seeing plays at this point in time, but yeah, I'll just get on into the article in here about that show. Brian Dennehy was in it, as well as Philip Seymour Hoffman. And then I'll just get to the last page of the article. Vanessa Redgrave was also in the show, along with Robert Sean Leonard. Let's see, what else? I think that might be it. I think there was an advertisement for a show. Yeah, there's an advertisement here for Urinetown, which is a show I will be talking about many shows from now, but stay tuned for that as well. So now I'll just point out I'll just say the next Broadway show I will be talking about, which will be my 33rd Broadway show, which will be my second time seeing the Broadway smash hit Hairspray, right there. And yeah, if you've made to this point of the video, thank you so much. Okay, my camera went out of focus, sorry. If you made this point of video, once again, thank you so very much for watching me talk about my time seeing my 32nd Broadway show, which was my first time seeing the producers. So, as always, thank you so very much for watching, and until next time, bye!